Hey, g'day, my friends. Here we are, Chat with Matt, episode 6, I believe. It is the 6th of February. Coincidence. 6th of February in New Zealand, anyway. I know it's the 5th in other parts of the world. 2019, here we are. Happy New Year. Happy Chinese New Year from yesterday. About 24 hours ago, exactly, actually. Give or take 3 or 4 minutes. The new moon was exact, and it was the start of a new Chinese year. Earth Pig. So I believe, I don't know much about Chinese astrology, so I will not get too much into it. It's not astrology, really, is it? No, it's just years. Anyway, welcome. Sister Sylvie is with us. I'm sure a few more people will jump on. How's it all going for you? How is it all going? It's exciting. It's exciting out there. I'm excited at the moment. New Years are always exciting, right? And there's enough, even if you've got nothing to do with the Chinese calendar, there's enough other people who are involved with it for it to be quite a big energetic field, right? Morphogenetic field. Great that you're in a better mood, Sister Sylvie. Very happy to see your energy and mood levels increasing. Hey, Sri Maria, how are you doing, sister? So anyway, Sylvie's here and she wrote in a great question before we started, and I'm very happy to answer anything else that pops up as people ask. Sri Maria is very tired, really tired. Not very tired, really tired. And it's late where you are. I know, it must be at least 10 o'clock. I know it's 10 o'clock for Sylvie. I'm not quite sure exactly where you are. It's probably the same time zone. I'm just sculling down my green drink. Anyway, let's get started. I'm very happy to, as I always do, side bend around. This is Chat with Matt. It lasts for 30 minutes. We're 2 minutes into it, so we may as well get going. So, Sister Sylvie wrote in, and I shall read it. I have a project. I'll try and read it in an eloquent way. I have a project which requires me to heal a big deal first for me to be able to succeed. I'm going to point out, normally I try and read the whole question first before I start talking, but I'm going to point out at this point in time, Sylvie, that's a belief, right? The belief that you need to heal your big deal first before you will succeed, whatever succeed is, right, which is an interesting point of view to begin with, because perhaps your big project is the pathway. The success of your big project is actually healing your big deal. I'll just put that out there. Sri Maria is in Italy and feeling some dense energies. I've been feeling dense energies for the last couple of decades, but I was going to say for the last couple of days, and I changed it to decades. I'm choosing to lift. Anyway, let's keep going with Sylvie. I wish to work on this project at my pace with my health as it is. Do you feel it could serve the manifestation of good health to play as if I would one day heal enough to keep on working on that project that is dear to me? Yes, exactly. I think that's what I just said. I dance with acceptance that it is not possible now and maybe never possible, but I can't let it go. If I'm never able to lead this creative thing, I will have created workshops for the birds. Yeah, and the birds might enjoy it. I still feel that it is worth it, but part of me thinks I should find an endeavor that is doable to be helpful and in service right now. Nothing else speaks to me, and my health is challenging for anything anyway. Thoughts? Great. So let's cut into the second last sentence, which says, I still feel that it is worth it, but part of me thinks I should find an endeavor that is doable and helpful and in service right now. So that's the way we've all been trained, right? We've all been trained that success is in achieving outcomes right now. And many of us who are spiritual in nature are very keen to be of service and to receive the appreciation and the satisfaction of being appreciated for the service that we do. So that is very normal from a mental point of view, the way we've been educated to view our success in terms of external accomplishments, right? Which is definitely plays a big part for all of us. We're all dance with this idea of wanting to achieve things externally to make this accomplishment. But ultimately, your true joy, because we see so many people, I'll cut around, we see so many people do amazing things that achieve amazing accomplishments in the external world, from being a huge popular rock star to writing multi-million selling books, whatever, all sorts of success in business, in relationship, right? We see people who succeed in having an awesome relationship, awesome kids, awesome house, awesome car, awesome friends, and circles of influence and all the rest of it, and still they are not happy, right? They are not happy. People are achieving all sorts of level of accomplishment and are not happy. I'm here to tell you, your happiness does not lie in achieving these accomplishments. Your mind is telling you that's what you need to do because that's the way you've been trained. We've been trained from the get-go to think our happiness is in achieving things. Right from tiny toddler, we do something and our mother praises us. We think that's where our happiness is, in achieving this recognition from others that we've done something right, we've done something good, we've done what we set out to do. We're very much, as a species or as a society, goal-orientated. Achieving goals is the path to happiness, and it's bullshit. It's bullshit. There is a little hit of happiness when you do it because of that satisfaction factor, but the truth is the real happiness, the real joy of being isn't there. The real joy of being comes from following your heart in the moment. Joy is in the moment. Joy is not in the achievement of a accomplishment in the future. It's right here and now. And so it is a big deal for you to follow, not, a big deal. I know you use big deal around your health issues, but the passion project that you have in front of you is where your happiness is. And it doesn't matter who you're serving with it. The fact is that if you are finding your true joy in expressing yourself to the birds, to no one in particular, right? But just expressing yourself through working on this project that you find passionate about, that you find, a connection to your heart, that is hugely beneficial to the whole of our society, to the whole of the cosmos, in fact, right? Because we're all here as individuations of God's source universe, and living in our joy is what it's all about. It's what it's all about. That's this experience is all about. Hey, Leslie, I am glad this is speaking to you. So please don't railroad yourself out of doing something that you feel very passionate about because your mind is telling you you are not capable of succeeding, right? Because ultimately you do not know. We don't know what the future is. And so while we look to find acceptance for how things are right now, right? How it is right now, find acceptance for that it is a challenge, that your mood swings and your energy levels do make it a challenge, and you can't mentally see how that you can take this passion project to your perceived fruition, which again is just the belief, what you think this means in the future. The truth is you don't know where this is taking you. You've got ideas of being a coach and a this and a that and having programs and having clients, but you don't really know, Sister Sylvie. This could lead you to writing a book or something, right? Very calmly in your own time, that ends up selling millions, right? Or something, and touching the lives of thousands of people. And you're not having to deal with running a business and meeting clients and doing all of that stuff. You just don't know. None of us know what our future lies. The point is to get into the vibration of the joy of doing what you're doing without trying to project it into the future, without needing to know how, we're talking about this month in the Montara Transformation and Empowerment Support Community about getting out of our minds, getting out of the how, and allowing ourselves to really be embracing ourselves in the why. Not why is this happening to me, but why am I showing up? Why am I led to do what I'm led to do? Into this motivation, which is beyond mental motivation, but this passion from our heart that is leading us into what we're choosing to spend our time doing, into how we're choosing to embrace the world. This who am I? This what am I? This vibration of why am I here on this planet in a freaking meat suit having these experiences, right? That's it. When we get into why we've bothered coming here and allow ourselves to really embrace that and take that energy into whatever project is in front of us, whatever expression we feel drawn to make, whether it's an artistic expression or whether it's a physical expression of health or vitality or song or dance or whatever we feel drawn to do, whether it's business success or whatever. Hey Kelly, how are you? And Susan Curtis, hello. Talking about working with our projects, even though we're not sure if we're ever going to be able to succeed, right? So success is in the moment. That's the bottom line, Sister Sylvie. Success is in every moment that you get to enjoy, right? And so allow yourself to really choose to make your project successful when you enjoy whatever you are working on, right? When you're enjoying making your workshop, right, for the very sake that you are expressing your joy in it. That's it. Whether it's for the birds, right, e.g., you may never release this workshop. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you never have clients do this workshop. If you're enjoying creating it, that is all that matters. And understand that the content that you are bringing together and putting together may be used in all sorts of ways in your future, which you don't need to predict right now. You don't need to predict your future. All you need to do is follow your heart, follow the breadcrumbs in the now moment. That's life. That's your life. It's right now. It's in each breath you take and in each way you choose to spend that breath, right? What you choose to spend doing with that breath, that is life. That is where success is. And it's not in how many people you help. Because it's the vibration of who you be in the moment that is helping the people. It's not in the doing. The helping the people is not in the doing. It's not in the cleverness of the program you put together or the whatever. It's basically, as a facilitator, which I tend to put myself in that bucket, as a facilitator, I believe more and more the facilitation we do is basically just a reflection of who we're being. Right? It's who we're being that creates the transformational space for people to grow. It's not based on the magic that we're able to do based, by any sort of trickery. It's not dependent on what we've been taught. It's not dependent on how much we've practiced. It's not dependent on, whatever techniques that we've been trained into. Our success as a facilitator is based on the confidence, the authentic confidence that we bring to our beingness. Not the authentic confidence that we bring to our doingness, but that's a flow on. We tend to do things in a very confident way when we're being very confident in ourselves, when we're not here to prove anything, right? As a facilitator, it's very easy to get caught up in trying to prove that what you do works by getting a good outcome for your client. But that doesn't work. I've realized that the more that I want my client to have a breakthrough, the harder it gets for them to have a breakthrough because I'm placing pressure on them. My happiness is now invested in their outcome. That's not going to work. I have to be happy in myself and I have to be disconnected might not be the right word, but I have to be somewhat removed from any outcome that a client has because their outcomes are their business. I'm here to facilitate a space for them to have their outcomes, but I can't have their outcomes for them. I facilitate a better space when I am confident in myself with nothing to prove. with nothing to prove. I facilitate really well when I'm in the joy of facilitating in the moment. The joy of facilitating is not based on the outcome I get for the client or the outcome that I get for myself. The joy is in the moment, the vibration that I'm feeling as I facilitate. I'm living it right now, right? I'm enjoying being in this space where I'm a little bit out of my mind right now, raving at a friggin' phone sitting on a cardboard box, which is what it is. I've got a little tripod sitting on a cardboard box next to my computer, right? And here I am raving to it, but I'm in joy while I'm doing this, right? I'm not here because I'm waiting to see all of the thumbs up come or anything, little love hearts fly across the screen. That's not what I'm doing it for. It's not to achieve, have more clients come to me and pay more money. Yeah, I need money. Of course I do. I need to feed my family and all the rest of it. But I'm doing this because I love it. Right? I love being in the space where I'm facilitating, and that's what makes me a good facilitator. That's what makes me a good facilitator. I'm not here to manipulate people to become clients. I'm not here to manipulate people so that they have a good outcome, or at least think they have a good outcome, so that then they like me. Right? And then I feel successful. It's not about success is in the moment. It's in the moment that you're feeling successful as a being, not based on any outcome you get for any person, not based on any income level that you attain, not based on any fame level that you attain. That's not success. We all know of people who have achieved that success, but they're unsuccessful because they're not happy. A lot of them commit suicide, right? A lot of the most successful people on this planet get so disillusioned that they're still not happy and they have nothing left to strive towards. The vast majority of this planet are using the excuse that they're not yet successful to justify the fact that they're not happy. And that gives them hope to keep going. But the problem is, as they climb that ladder, while it keeps them hopeful to keep going, keeps them on the treadmill of consuming and producing, right, which is the higher beings that are running this show thinks fantastic, right? The idea that everyone thinks that their happiness is involved in success, and everyone who's not yet happy thinks that they're not happy yet because they haven't been successful enough, and so they keep striving to be more successful and keep working harder, keeps the wheels of the economy turning. But ultimately, when people reach the top of the ladder and have succeeded at everything and they're still not happy, what's left for them? Right? Either they turn to spirituality and find their happiness, or they leave the planet in some way, whether via suicide or whether via assisted suicide through, a drug accident, right? Trying to numb the pain of still not being successful and not knowing what else they can do. They turn to drugs or some other diversionary technique, which many people use along the way as well. And their soul says, well, we may as well get out of here. I've blown this chance. Anyway, I'm going to have a drink. Hey, Trina, how are you, sister? So, answering your question, Sylvie, absolutely keep working on your projects and find acceptance that you can't, or at least at the moment, you haven't managed to be successful as your mind perceives success in that project, right? You can't take your coaching business out there to the world yet because you don't feel, stable enough in your health. So, but that doesn't mean that you don't get the joy from stepping step by step through creating your programs and doing your stuff and helping people along the way, even if it is in a very open way, in a very non-structured way, helping people just by being you, by being willing to speak to them when you meet them on the bus or do whatever. So yeah, any thoughts? I think I did have some thoughts on that. How are we going? 10:20. I've still got 10 minutes left. Who else? What else? What else should we talk about? I'm getting really, really excited about going to Mexico. I'm off to Mexico in what's the date today? The 6th, in 3 weeks' time. It is 3 weeks' time. It will be a Wednesday, and it's in 3 weeks' time. I'm leaving sunny New Zealand to head to sunny Mexico to deliver a retreat around abundance. And I was just sitting in my meditation this morning. I'm loving my meditations too, again, in the morning. For those of you who have been following, at the start of the year, I made a decision to spend at least 60 minutes in meditation every morning, as well as doing my nighttime meditations, which have been in the stables for a long time. And I'm really, really, really into it now. It's It's really, 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 really into it. And this morning was no disappointment at all. It was awesome. Lots and lots of downloads and information coming up around, and even just little snippets of, I don't know, it's weird, isn't it, when you just see little bits of future possibility and potential arising. And it was all around the retreat in Mexico and living this space and basically helping people create this facilitation space for a whole 7 days in a container, a very contained container, facilitating a space where people can really shift into abundance. It's not teaching a bunch of techniques, by the way. It's not doing all of the mind training around this and that. It's about finding it in you. We're all abundance, right? There is no real thing that we need to get to be abundant. All we need to do is let go of a bunch of lack mentality. All we need to do is let go of a bunch of training that we have that has disconnected us from the true abundance that we are. And I'm not just talking about money, right? Money is nothing at the end of the day, to be honest, right? A lot of people think that, they'll be happy when they have money, but really, right? Money itself is worthless. The money is only what you spend it on, right? And so people think that when they have the money, then they'll be able to, buy their passion, buy their health, buy their, their freedom. They have equated money with having the freedom to do what they want. And of course, money is definitely an energy that we use to do a lot of that stuff. But ultimately, putting your attention on wanting the money, thinking that that's when your happiness, your abundance will come when you have this money thing, you're missing the point. You're better off stepping past the money and looking at what you want to buy with the money, not necessarily just the physical things, but the vibration that you wish to have, right? And so you put your attention on that vibration. What is the vibration that you think money means to you? And allow yourself to embrace that. Because the truth is, the vibration of money is not an easy one to align with, because it isn't really an emotion. It isn't really a feeling. It isn't really a thing. Money is just a means of exchange that we use to attain various things. And so trying to align with money is not as successful as aligning with the thing that you want to use the money to buy, generally. Or the vibration, the experience that you're looking to have from having the abundance of money. And so that's what we're here to do. Release the reasons why you think you can't do that. Release the reasons or the vibrations or the fragments of trauma, which is basically what it is, the fragments of trauma from your field that is isolating you from naturally aligning with the vibration that you're choosing, you're desiring your life to mirror back to you. Thanks, Susan. I'm glad you're enjoying the chat. What did Sylvie write? I'm trying to use my mouse to work the phone. That doesn't work. Loving your passion today. You seem in a really good mood. Yeah, I wasn't till I got on this thing. Well, no, that I wasn't. I didn't know that I was in such a good mood. I had a good meditation, so that was good. And up until when I started raving here, I didn't realize I was so high. That's it, right? So that's cutting back to your question from the start, Sylvie. This is exactly it. When we get to live our passion, when we get to do what we feel passionate about, which is, for me, sharing my vibration with the world. I was nearly going to say my knowledge. Oh, my goodness. My phone is not very happy these days. It's going into our low power mode. It's okay, I'll have a cord if it decides to shut down, but I've only got 5 minutes, so we should be sweet. The point is when you start living purposefully, doing something that you're passionate about, and so living purposefully doesn't mean that you're so much, doing things. It's not about doing. Living purposefully is about being. So when you get to live purposefully, which is being yourself, being authentic, being free, feeling free to express yourself, even if that means you look a little bit mad, like I look when I'm raving. I'm glad it's all a message for you, Sri Maria. Thank you, Kelly. I'm glad that you feel that your vibration is rising by being here, and that's it, right? So that's it. When you get to, hey, Sister M, when you get to really live purposefully, which means being yourself and feeling free, it's this thing called authentic confidence, which is one of the first, basic words or phrases that came to me when I first started facilitating what I'm helping people to achieve, was authentic confidence. Confidence to be authentic, and to be authentic in your confidence, right? Because a lot of people do confidence from their mind, which is basically projecting a space, a mental space where they are right, and they feel therefore confident because they have proven in their mind that what they're saying is right. And so therefore they feel mentally confident to keep pounding their message, because in their structure of their mind, it's right. And then, of course, the mind is a shaky structure indeed, and it's very easy for these people who have got this mental confidence to all of a sudden have something, the winds of doubt come blowing through, and that house of cards starts falling down, and they lose everything, right? They lose their whole structure of being, and their confidence goes with it, and they're shattered. But when you really embrace a confidence of beingness that's not based on being right at all, because that's the freedom of it. I don't care if I'm right or wrong. I'm sharing what I share in the moment, and it's right for some people and it's wrong for others. That's the point. Right and wrong are perspectives that is completely individual to the observer. So the reason it's pointless trying to maintain confidence from a space of being right, because someone is always going to find what you're doing wrong. And if that person is stronger than you energetically, then it's struggle. You're going to struggle. So, but when you get out of right and wrong and you find your confidence just in yourself, and you express yourself quite willing and accepting to be right or wrong, what's happened here? We lost power. Oh my goodness, we lost power here. That's why my phone just went a bit wonky, because it had to shift from Wi-Fi to cellular. It is very windy here, and we have just lost power because my computer just shut down. Anyway, so I've lost the time, but I'm sure it's getting time to wind this up. So Barbara, that's an interesting thing to say. My intention is to be authentic. Sometimes I miss the mark. You can't really miss the mark in authenticity. So basically, being authentic is being willing to notice when you're living from a belief that's not your true heart. You're still being authentic. It's just a matter of really noticing that, right? Authenticity is a really funny thing, because a lot of people think, oh, you're being inauthentic because you're trying too hard. And yes, you are. But if you're willing to own that, then you're being authentic in noticing that your mode of operation is not coming from your authentic truth. It's coming from your authentic indoctrination, if you know what I mean. So it's still authentic if you're willing to own it. That's the point. So don't be too hard on yourself when you don't seem to hit the mark of authenticity. For me, the most authentic I am is when I'm in this raving carry on, where I basically get out of my mind and I'm not monitoring what I'm saying. Many people that would draw a parallel with being slightly drunk, right? Just having enough alcohol, not to be stupid, but to have lost the mental confines on themselves, not to worry too much about what other people think about them. They're drunk enough that they don't worry what other people think. They're willing to speak their truth. They'd say they're speaking their mind, but basically they're speaking their truth. And it's interesting what states people get into with that, because you soon see what some people's truths are. But the point is, I haven't had a drink for over 10 years now. It's nearly 12 years. But anyway, I just picked up on that and wanted to point it out. Don't be too hard on yourselves for not thinking that you're authentic, right? Because the point is, if you try and make yourself authentic, then you're going to be inauthentic. That's the truth. Listening to someone, I can't even pronounce that name, and affirming to the universe, I only want to experience what is true. What is true? Yeah, and even understand that, Sri Maria, what is true, again, is individual. please understand that what's true for me is not true for you. And so and what's true for you today won't be true for you tomorrow. So in that affirmation, understand that that's an in the moment thing, and it will keep changing. And so don't get disillusioned if experiencing or expressing your truth keeps changing and you think, wow, was it true yesterday or was it true today? Or, did I get it wrong when I thought this was the truth? Understand that truth is in the moment, and it is very individual. And it's not nearly as, because from humans we get this idea that the truth is kind of like this universal, timeless thing, and it's not, right? The universe is continually expanding, therefore universal truth is continually expanding and changing. Evolution is taking place. What was true yesterday is not true today, and so a lot of people find that hard. From a mental perspective, that's hard, because a mental mind likes the structure of knowing that predictable things, right? And we predict things based on this thing called truth, but truth is always changing, which then shakes our mind up. Anyway, my friends, I'm sure I've gone over time now. Great chat with Matt. Thank you all so much for provoking me. Inspiring me might be another way of putting it. So thank you very much for inspiring me with this conversation. If you have any questions, if you want to know more, if you want to come to Mexico, if you want to tune in and do some deeper work with me in any way, shape or form, please just reach out, send me an email, mantara@mantara.nz or NZ, or just, if you're on Facebook, obviously, send me a message on Facebook, either a private message or a public message that says, please PM me, and I'll do that, right? Much love to you. Thank you so much, Sylvie, for your question that got us started. Thank you all so much for joining and adding your energy to this. Happy Chinese New Year. Let's make it a good one. Every moment is a great time for a new beginning, and now is no exception. Much love to you all, my friends. Bye for now. Bye-bye.